Welcome to KRA's The Hub, the official podcast of KRA Corporation. And now get ready to hear workforce topics and trends you need to know on the go.
Well, welcome back to KRA's The Hub podcast. This is Jonathan Overall, the host of The Hub, and it's always great to join our audience here. Today, I am joined by a guest who's actually a member of the KRA leadership team, and we are doing a series focused on our projects at the local level. And so I want to welcome JaVette Pettaway. She is the program director of KRA's work in Los Angeles County in Rancho Dominguez. JaVette, welcome to the Hub.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be a part of it today.
Definitely. And you are part of the LA County project, which is actually in the last 6 months is new for KRA. And let's start off. I want to dive into the project and some of the initiatives that you all are working on there. But let's start off by talking about your career journey and your background and what led you to your current role with KRA. I'll also throw in there, as we talk about leadership and your journey, this month we're actually celebrating as a company. It's National Women's History Month. And so just want to acknowledge that as well, JaVette, as one of KRA's project leaders that is a woman in workforce development and influencer, your leadership journey as well. But give us some insight about your background and your journey to KRA at this point.
Absolutely. So my desire as a youth was to have a career that allowed me to help others. I've always been passionate about giving back to my community. So my journey actually started with social services, probation more specifically. I worked as a probation counselor in juvenile hall as a field probation officer with the county. That has its ups and downs. After years of working in that field, I determined that I was doing, albeit important work. I wasn't really solving the bigger problem that our community really faced, which was the unemployment part of it, and working with those that were from disenfranchised backgrounds. So I transitioned into a career counseling position with Job Corps, and there I provided personal and career guidance to youth ages 16 to 24, trying to steer them down a path away from the justice system. I helped them focus on careers that had longevity and sustainability. I also continued with Job Corps for several years in different capacities, whether it be helping them find their careers, high growth careers, helping them focus on industries that would definitely give them that longevity. Fields like the medical field, construction, automotive. I realized that many of those that I served lacked that confidence to pursue jobs in those fields and felt that the goal of being a medical professional or a contractor or a senior mechanic even was beyond their reach. So I tried to manage different things and look at different programs and funding sources. In that role, I was able to manage multi-million-dollar budgets. I've held positions with various boards, working to ensure that the underserved community that I spoke of has a place in every room, not just that room, but in every room. And they can play a part in their own growth and success. I realized that I needed to make a move towards a company that would provide me an opportunity to make more decisions in the types of training and how funding was spent and the audience that we were targeting. So I began a position as an associate director for a program that helps people start and or restart their lives. Those that were once justice involved, dislocated, or even new to the employment experience, period. And with all of that, I was still not really fulfilled, and I began to search for a better way to make an impact. And once I decided to alter my career path, I came across KRA and KRA's vision of engaging businesses, developing workers, and nurturing stronger communities as they, kind of work towards becoming viable members of the community really set with me. It really spoke to me. So my position currently with KRA provides me with the professional contracts and contacts and resources to further design and implement a comprehensive service location for people of Compton and the county of LA.
JaVette, your journey is obviously unique, and I think everyone has a unique journey as they come into workforce development. Many people not really knowing what workforce development is. But, as I look at your background, you were obviously in human services area, working with youth programs, those that were justice involved. How would you say that those experiences along the way prepared you for your leadership role now with KRA and serving people in the space of workforce development?
Oh, okay, absolutely. My experience in workforce development and the various programs that I've had oversight of has helped me shape my leadership approach by allowing me to pull from my wheelhouse of expertise and the expertise of others that I've worked with. I've seen what's effective and what's not effective. In all of my leadership positions, however, I've never stopped leading with compassion for the population that we serve. I've always believed that a person's circumstance, past or present, doesn't define who they are. Additionally, as a leader, my purpose is to cultivate an environment that fosters a positive growth, and not just for, again, the community members, but for the staff that I'm working with as well. I encourage, I provide resources and opportunities to help them step into their own greatness. My personal leadership is rooted in the belief that a motivated and well-supported team is the foundation of organizational success. I've been successful in doing this because I also follow a few core values, and that's integrity, dedication, and accountability, not to mention excellence. So with integrity, I lead with honesty, transparency, ethical decision making, and ensuring that trust is at the core of every interaction. With regards to dedication, I remain steadfast in my commitment to my purpose, staying focused on the mission and the goals that drive success. Accountability, I take ownership of the things that we do here in this location. I take ownership of the actions of my staff, and I try to foster a culture where responsibility is embraced at all levels, ensuring that both success and challenges are acknowledged, addressed constructively. As far as excellence, I strive for high standards and continuous improvement, encouraging my team to reach their full potential through ongoing development and a commitment to quality. I also have a separate leadership approach. My leadership approach is centered around four key principles. One, open communication. I foster a culture of transparency, so we dialogue, my staff and I, in a way that everyone feels valued and encouraged. I create a welcoming environment where team members feel comfortable in sharing their feedback and ideas and concerns. Of course, there's active listening, going back and forth. We listen, ensuring that all voices are heard and respected. Another point of my leadership approach is servant leadership. And that means I prioritize the needs of the team, ensuring that they have the necessary tools and resources and support to succeed. Of course, I lead by example. And there's a mantra that I have: monitor, mentor, and monitor. So that means I model the behavior. I model, to see, okay, this is what it is I want you to do. I monitor to see if are you actually doing it. And then I provide some mentorship to help them cultivate that professional development. Also, I'm results driven. I set clear goals and expectations while maintaining and remaining adaptable to changing circumstances. I emphasize performance metrics and continuous improvement to drive both individual and team success. I celebrate achievements, but also talk about the things that we can see as setbacks as well. And then coaching and development. I coach my team. I invest in the professional growth and ensuring that, again, they have what they need so they can be successful. And then overall, with this approach, I want the community to know that KRA cares. I ensure that my staff are coming from a place with strong core values. The rest will be easy. If they come to the table with these core values, the rest is easy. I focus on building the staff so they're able to build the community, doing the work to get them back on their feet by providing training in high growth sectors, assisting with career exploration and job search, and connecting them with employers who are just as impactful.
Yeah, you hit on some things there, JaVette, that I think are so important today in any industry, but especially in workforce and workforce services, where we are serving folks, adults and youth of different backgrounds and the neighborhoods, communities that we're working in, and really focusing internally. We're providing a service to the community, but internally as well, how we lead our staff, how we cultivate a culture that is committed to excellence, but also that is being empowered individually as well, is so important. And again, the last 5 years, we've seen so many shifts within the industry and the world at large, and how companies engage their staff and motivate and challenge and lead with clear goals is so important. So thank you for sharing about your approach, your philosophy on how you lead your team. Let's talk more specifically about the project itself. Can you tell us about KRA's current project in LA County? What are some of the primary goals that you're leading with? What are some of the objectives that you and the team are working for? And maybe just give us some insight. What's the lay of the land like that you guys are facing and working in as you are committing towards those goals and objectives?
Well, I am excited to share that I am part of the latest initiative of CARE, and that's the operation of the Rancho Dominguez AJCC. Here, our primary goal is to reestablish this AJCC as the go-to resource for employment assistance, ensuring that job seekers have access to the support they need. We're committed to enrolling a record number of adults, dislocated workers, formerly justice involved individuals, youth, and more. Now, to achieve this, we offer workshops. We're expanding workshops. We have recruitment efforts and job fairs to better serve our community. We're strengthening partnerships with training providers and employers to create a seamless employment pipeline. We're also looking to bridge the gap, the financial gap, and accessibility to individuals facing barriers to employment. Additionally, we are collaborating with community colleges to develop customized training pathways in high-growth industries such as healthcare, which will allow them to get into fields like CNA, medical assistance, phlebotomy, LPN, and more. The trucking industry, which offers them opportunities to work for companies or pursue entrepreneurship, construction, connecting individuals with union apprenticeships and major city projects, including those tied to the upcoming Olympics, which is amazing. And then through these efforts, we aim to empower job seekers, strengthening local workforce, and drive economic growth in the community.
And you mentioned the Rancho Dominguez AJCC, and obviously this is a new project for KRA within the last 6 months or so. But the AJCC in Rancho Dominguez is not new. And for KRA coming into this market, one of the things that KRA prides itself on as a company is taking an innovative approach to workforce development. In your role as the leader of this program, what do you think makes KRA unique and really set apart when it comes to other workforce development initiatives in the area, specifically in this region of Rancho Dominguez?
Well, KRA's work in LA County stands out from other workforce development initiatives, mainly because of the staff. The staff are from the very community that we serve. The staff have a strong pulse on what the needs are of the community and how to better gain access to those hard-to-reach populations, and a passion just to simply regrow their community. Part of the regrowth is finding training, employment, and housing, which KRA has their finger on the pulse of. We provide targeted training opportunities aligned with growing economic trends, ensuring that individuals gain the success needed to thrive in today's job market. At KRA, we're committed to a comprehensive, client-centered approach that empowers job seekers and leads to lasting success. We also look at things with regards to our job seekers. We recognize that every individual faces unique challenges on their employment journey. That's why we, here at this particular location, take a wraparound approach to services, addressing both career development and personal barriers to success. We offer mentorship and coaching, helping job seekers navigate challenges and build confidence. We provide supportive services, identifying and addressing obstacles that may hinder success. And we also provide skill-building workshops, equipping participants with the tools to stand out in the job market. We also host recruitment and hiring fairs at our location, providing job seekers with direct access to multiple employers on a single day. By facilitating these connections, we create real employment opportunities for our community. And speaking of our community, we have an outstanding community engagement teams that works diligently to ensure that LA County residents are aware of the resources available here at our center. We actively spread awareness through social media, through participating in community events, and collaborations with chambers of commerce and local organizations. The commitment of KRA to provide businesses with a trained workforce and preparing job seekers to work in this global economy speaks volumes. It is not about statistical outcomes with KRA, which is amazing. It's about building relationships, building partnerships, and as a result, building up this economy.
Yeah, as we talk about KRA as a company, we obviously have a footprint nationwide in different markets. And with that, I think one of the advantages is seeing trends that are across the nation that are affecting pretty much every local economy. But with that, still, every local market has some unique challenges or unique elements within that landscape that require a different approach or a nuanced approach in shaping workforce programs. And you talked about the commitment that your team has when it comes to serving employers. But when it comes to the unique things in that Rancho Dominguez, LA County area, how does your team ensure that the services and the training that is offered truly aligns with the specific needs of the employers and the job seekers within your region? What does that look like?
Oh, wow. Okay, great question. We have continuous employer engagement. So I'm excited that we have an exceptional business service team that stays attuned to the economic trends and industry shifts. Through strong relationships and strategic partnerships, we actively conduct surveys, focus groups, and one-on-one consultations to gain valuable insight into current and emerging workforce trends. Also, by leveraging these connections, we ensure that our training programs align with industry demands, equipping job seekers with the skills that employers are actively seeking. We invite businesses to host recruitment fairs, providing a platform for employers to engage directly with job seekers and share insight on the qualifications, skills, and attributes they value in potential candidates. This proactive approach strengthens our workforce development efforts, fostering meaningful connections between job seekers and employers while driving economic growth. We also look at partnerships within our local education and training providers. We also have a wonderful training and apprenticeship coordinator who collaborates with various training providers, community colleges, and other resources to ascertain if what they are providing meets the standards shared by businesses we partner with. This allows us to bridge any skills gap and offer certifications or credentials that are valued by employers in the region. Collaboration is key when trying to achieve success, and it all begins with open lines of communications between all parties. We gather feedback also from our job seekers. We conduct surveys with them as well, asking about their training and work experience. This helps us know if any adjustments are needed in the training provided or if we need to have a conversation with the training provider themselves. Tailoring services to meet job seekers' needs ensures better outcomes in terms of job placement and career progression. We also focus on flexible and customized training. We offer a variety of learning options, such as online courses, apprenticeships, on-the-job training, etc., to cater to different learning styles and schedules. By providing flexible, customized solutions, we ensure that both employers and job seekers can access the tools and skills needed for success.
JaVette, you mentioned a word that is key within workforce development. That's collaboration. The work that is done can't be done in a silo. It's a community. There's a collective work that's done. Can you share with our audience some examples of some of the partnerships and community initiatives that you and the team have been working on thus far, and particularly how they've been impactful in helping to expand KRA's program reach there in your region?
Oh, absolutely. We are proud here to partner with Prestige Career College, one of the premier vocational institutions in this region. Through this collaboration, we've established a workforce pipeline for the medical field, providing KRA participants with training and certified nursing assistants, medical billing, phlebotomy, of course, all funded through WIOA resources. Prestige Career College ensures that students meet all certification requirements, equipping them with necessary skills to excel in their chosen field. The great thing is that upon graduation, the participants gain direct access to employment opportunities through employer partnerships with healthcare facilities, creating a streamless and seamless transition from training to workforce placement. As a result of their training experience with Prestige, our enrollment numbers are climbing from referrals. This initiative not only expands KRA's program reach, but also contributes to the growth of the healthcare sector, a high demand industry. By fostering this collaboration, we are actively producing highly skilled professionals who make a meaningful impact in the global economy.
JaVette, thank you for that. And this has been such a wonderful insight of what's being done in LA County through your team, through the work, and through your leadership as well. And I know it may seem early on in the process. I know a lot of work has gone into that, but thank you for sharing that journey that you've been on and the team. Before we close, I mentioned at the top that this is the month of March and it's Women's History Month. And as a leader, as a woman in workforce, but also in leadership in other roles throughout your career journey, has there been any particular theme or mentor or a point of inspiration that has guided you along your path in leadership?
Absolutely. Of course, aside from my mom, the best woman in my eyes to guide and lead. But I did have a mentor some years ago, and she taught me to lead with compassion, be firm, fair, and consistent. But I think the piece of compassion, I think, stayed with me longer. When I approach any team, any project, any program, I always look at the desired outcome. How can I be a blessing to the person that I'm trying to reach? What is it that they need, and how can I help them get there? Of course, making sure we're within the confines of policy, procedure, all of those things, but always leading with compassion. And I'm appreciative because Carrie has allowed me to do that in this position, leading with compassion.
That's wonderful. Well, I can see how compassion has been a part of your work, just looking at your background and how you lead here at KRA, serving people, serving the community, bringing compassion as people are receiving services for their job and businesses, the services that we provide. So again, JaVette, thank you for that. How can folks in our audience that are listening, how can they follow the work that's being done with KRA in the Rancho Dominguez area?
Of course, they can find us at KRA.com. You can also find us on Instagram at AJCCRD_KRA. Feel free to stop by 2909 East Pacific Commerce Drive in Rancho Dominguez, California. We have orientations and intake every Wednesday at 2 p.m.
That's wonderful. Thank you again, JaVette. And we look forward to having you again in the future and hearing about some of the updates of what you and the team there are doing. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me. You as well.
Thank you for listening to KRA's The Hub. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. To learn more about KRA Corporation, visit www.kra.com. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll be back soon with a new episode.